Let me try to share. Let me share this to the chat real fast too. There we go.
Khan Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to say, call Allah, Abanawi Yahweh, by Hashem wa Malak Yahushai. All praises and honor and glory to the Most High God. In His only begotten Son name, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, real name Yahushai in the Paleo Hebrew. Right? Salute to the Akim, Wakim out there in the world, man, doing their due diligence to keep these commandments, man, and raise up these children in the way that they need to go. Shout out and salute to the children that's out there keeping these law, statutes, and commandments in this wicked world that's heavily influenced by the devil, the spiritual demon, Satan. I want to say shalom to the children too.
Khan, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bashem Mashiach Yahushai, right? K.O.Y, we back at it again with another live, man, and bring us some great edification. We pray that you brothers and sisters out there are enduring through these trials and tribulations and afflictions that we're going through. Keep enduring to the end. The same shall be saved, and keep staying 10 toes down for the name of the Lord, man, right? All praise to the Most High. The topic of this live today is what? Are you walking in the ways of the Lord, man? Are you walking in the ways of righteousness? Are you walking in the ways of the spirit and not the ways of the flesh? We got to, always remind ourselves that we always dealing with some type of affliction or tribulation in here that's going to try to sway us out of this thing, man. Right? We got to remind ourselves that we got to stay 10 toes down and keep your foot on the necks of these adversaries, man, whether it be physical adversaries out here trying to hinder you, whether you going through it at your job, going through it with people, in your day-to-day walk, or whether you're dealing with different types of diverse spirits, man. Right? So all praise to the Most High, man. Are you walking in the ways of the Lord or are you not? Right? Ashley Tucker, shalom, shalom. Let's see you in the chat. Go ahead, I got some open some.
Yeah, shalom, sister, shalom. Yeah, right. Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse number 4.
Khan, that brother Gio was he was getting that. He was talking about that earlier, Deuteronomy 6 and 4, getting the recitation of that down in the Hebrew. All praises through the Spirit. All right, let me where we go? Oh, here we go. All right, let me get that. All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse number 4. It says, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might."
Mm-hmm. We're gonna read down to 9. 8.
Con. And it reads, and these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
So first and foremost, this what brought this topic to my attention is because the Lord says this so much in the first 6 books of the Bible. It make you think about, man, am I really walking in the ways that Yahweh commanded us to walk, right? And we all know it takes time to clean our mind, right? That's why he said, what? Wash you and make you clean. But what you got to do when you wash yourself and make yourself clean? You run the bath water, you make sure the temperature is just right, right? You put your soap bubbles, your Epsom salt, right? You kind of spread a little bit of green alcohol in there, right? You kind of dip yourself in there and you sit in there for a minute. But if you just hopped in and hopped out after doing all of that, you won't be clean. It takes time to scrub, right? And get yourself all together, man. Right. So when we in this truth, the reason why he say that so much, walk, 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 is because that's what it is. It's a walk down memory lane and a walk down the aisle to the marriage, right? So we got to remember these things of old as we walking and preserving ourselves to the day that's coming in the future, right? So I love this topic and I love where this lesson is going already, and I yield with that.
That's right. Like the brother said, you got to actually prepare for the cleansing, right? You can't just jump in the water, what I'm saying, like these Edomites do, man, right? I seen a video where the Edomite, he just washed himself. His wife put the bottle, shampoo a certain way, and put the soap dispenser a certain way to see if it'll be moved. Hey, this Edomite ain't moving, man. Right?
Yeah.
She asked him, "What'd you do? Did you even use soap and then stuff?" So, nah, I just kind of jumped in and rinsed myself. Right? On camera, confronting him. Hey, we ain't doing that, man. Right? We making sure we getting them oils ready. We making sure we getting the soap. You know what I'm saying? I need that brand new body wash. I need that brand new scrubber. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting my garments ready for when I get about the shower, man. I'm cleansing myself for an extra 30 minutes just to, bathe in that water to make sure all that filth is off of me, man. You're not gonna just jump in for 2 minutes and get back up. We ain't taking gel showers over here, man. We're really trying to cleanse ourselves through this word and through this truth. You know what I'm saying? And walking in that way, also when you have to do a walk, you have to provide an action to that, right? That means what? No idleness shall come to you, no slothfulness shall come into your mind, or any of that, right? You got to put the work in. You got to do something about it and really move in this truth, right? Let me get a precept on that real quick.
Yeah, if you don't mind, can I get one right quick, and
Yeah, go
then
ahead.
kind of give me where I got that from, where that came up from. Isaiah 1:16, and we're gonna read to verse 18,
Uh,
right? So since I brought it up, let's just read it right quick because that's part of it. That's part of are you walking with the Lord, right? Because part of your walk is cleaning yourself, right? Making sure you watching your actions and you doing better on a day-to-day basis. And when you mess up, you beat yourself up a little bit, but you don't wallow in the mud. You don't just sit there in the dirt, right? You go to the Lord and say, "Look, I'm dirty, right? I have sinned. Please forgive me," right? And you kind of wash that dirt off, man, and you get back out there, right?
mm-hmm. That's right.
Go ahead.
God, this is Isaiah chapter 1 and verse you said 6, right?
Yeah, yep. No, 16, 16.
16. This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 16. It says, "Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless. Plead for the widow."
Come on.
Verse 18. "Come now and let us reason together, saith Yahweh. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool."
So wool, right? Wool has a high vibrational pull, right? They said like 5,000 hertz or whatever they measure it with. So your ways are gonna be pure and they're gonna be vibrant, right? So once you walking in the ways of the Lord, He promises you that He'll meet you the rest of the way, right? He gonna clean you up. He didn't say from your works you're gonna be clean. He said, "Come now, let us reason together." That reasoning is a Lord, man. I know I messed up right here. I will do better. I'll try not to ever do it again, right? And you go that long period of not doing it again, and the Lord look at it and say, "You know what? Don't worry about that time you did that because you did it no more again," right? So this process, this walk, right, comes with a high level of repentance, right, and conviction for your sins or for your missteps. So I yield with that.
Con. That's a beautiful thing right here. There's something I want to point out here in Isaiah 1. It says, "Come now and let us reason together, saith Yahweh. Though your sins be as scarlet," right? Scarlet is the color of red. It's a form of a red color, right? It says, "They shall be as white as snow," right? "Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool," right? As wool, meaning as pure and white, clean. You know what I'm saying? You take some cotton balls fresh out the pack, they clean. But if you use something, if you clean them with, they're gonna become dirty, and now they ain't clean no more. So you got to make sure that whatever you're cleansing becomes as white as wool, basically, right? And just I want to point this image out that I just grabbed right here. Would you want to be found covered in purity? I'm gonna do right now. Would you want to be found covered in purity, or would you want to be found, in the visitation of the Most High, in the Son, covered in blood? Right. This is what it looks like to be covered in blood. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be covered in blood. When you look at these images, or you see somebody covered in blood, what represents that? He's a murderer. He's unclean. Right? He's an evil spirit. He's done evil things, and he's continuing to do evil things because that blood is still on him. I don't want to be found looking like this. You know what I'm saying? You see a man walking in the store looking like this, you just know that hey man, that's the evil spirit on that brother. He probably just got done doing some serial killing or something, man.
Man,
right?
Look, it had to do with the knife. He was like, yeah,
right here, a knife in his hand, man. So you don't want to be found in this type of spiritual position, man. You don't want the Most High to look at you like, damn, you covered in blood, off with them. You know what I'm saying? Get them out of my sight. No, you want to be found pure, man. You want to be found clean, washed from all the bloodshed that we have on ourselves, man. Right? We're waking the people up. We're walking in the ways of the truth. We constantly repenting, right? Day in and day out, we're making sure we watching ourselves, man. I guarantee you Jakes ain't going a day without taking a shower, man. So if you ain't going a day without taking a shower, I gotta go to work, or I gotta go to school or something, man. You hopping in that shower in the morning, man, and you hopping in the shower when you get off, right? Or you just gonna be unclean. You're just gonna be a dirty person, man. Oh yeah, I showered 2 days ago, man. I'll shower tomorrow. No, man, ain't no damn shower tomorrow, man. Wash yourself every day. Put the necessary steps and walk in the ways of cleansing yourselves on a daily basis every chance you get, man. Because you don't know when that day of the Lord is coming. So you want to be found clean. So walk in the way of cleansiness, man. That's a form of walking in the way of the Lord, man. You understand? Deal with that.
A point on that too. When you hopping in that shower on a daily basis is the same way as you're repenting, right, on a daily basis. Whether you take 2 showers a day or 1 shower a day, right? You gotta repent every day, right? So that's a beautiful point right there.
God, this is how you want to be found. You know what I'm saying? Boom, fresh. He looked like he just got fresh up out the shower, man.
Man, no
right here, clean. You know what I'm saying? That's how you want to be found. But go ahead, King.
I'm good. You said you had a couple precepts you want to bring out. I'm kind of loaded in my mind with precepts right now, so I'm gonna let you kind of go.
Okay, come. I'll pull a little 3-piece out there. Let's go to Proverbs 4, the last verse. Right. Start first for.
Make sure you pull it up. Make sure you pull it up on the screen too, King.
Okay, I go right here. All right, this Proverbs 4:25 says, "Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee." So how are you going to make sure you're on the right path without knowing where you're going, without looking forward to the destination, man? You're just going to be swaying back and forth. You're just going to be a blind man out here stumbling all over the place, man, if you don't know where you're going, right? If you ain't looking at the coordinates, you don't open up that map. Okay, I got to go up a Broadway this way, make a left on Jackson, and you know what I'm saying, then go up 14th Street. Then you're going to know where to go. But guess what? You have to have eyes to be able to know where you're going, man. Okay, let me check my GPS. Let me make sure I'm kind of going that way. Okay, 5 miles to that. You have to know where you're going in order to walk in the ways of the Lord, man. Right? But if you don't know the ways you're going to just be leading to your own destruction, man. Next thing you know, you crashing somewhere. Next thing you know, guess what? You lost. You understand? And we was all lost. We all needed that GPS. We all needed that map. We needed that guidance from the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. And where's that guidance found at? Where's that GPS and that map found at, man? In the scriptures, man. Right? So you got to keep these things in your remembrance and know where you're going. You understand? And let thine eyes look right on. Meaning what? On that right path. Oh, you know, I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go the other way. I think I know how to. No, you don't know how to think. You know how to get there, man. Look at that map. Look at that GPS, and you're gonna get on that right path, right? And let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Meaning, if you're driving, you don't want to just be like, "Oh, look at that bird!" Oh, and the next thing you know, you crashing, man. You don't want to be driving and looking back and just, oh, let me reach for this book bag in the back seat, and the next thing you know, you swerving out the lanes, man. Right? You want to stay firm on that wheel, look straight on that right path, man, and know where you're going. Right? That's called being responsible. That's called knowing what you got going on. And guess what? Not only you providing safety for yourself, but you providing safety for whoever's on that path with you. You understand? Verse 26. Ponder thy path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Right? So you got to always constantly remember and ponder and hearken and think upon the path of where you're going, man. You understand? And let all thy ways be established. Meaning, when you have already set in your mind that I'm gonna go to this destination, then I'm gonna hit this spot up, and then I'm gonna hit this spot up, man. Don't sway from that. You know, okay, I landed here, check, boom. Okay, next spot, boom, check. Okay, next location, boom, check. You got to really establish this pathway, man. Right? Set your little checkpoints. You play Mario Brothers, right? You play these video games where you reach a certain point in the level, man. You hit that checkpoint. So now you know where to start from, just in case you do backtrack. You got it. Now you can move forward from that part, man, instead of starting over. Verse 27. Turn not to the right hand nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil, right? Because it's an evil thing to turn away from the path of the Lord. The Lord has already set this thing up and set a path for us and a guidance for us to go on, man, right? To make it to the kingdom, to make it through these trials and tribulations, make it through this fire and affliction, and then make it to the kingdom. But guess what? We got to endure through all of that stuff, man. Don't give up. Oh, you know what, man? I'm kind of tired. You know, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. No, it ain't just what you want to do, man. Don't turn to the right hand. Don't turn to the left. Stay on that narrow path. Stay on that straight way, right? That's why it says up here, right? Look right on. Keep going forward.
Man.
Right? I got 2 more precepts. I'm gonna let you cook it up. Right?
Look man, that's part of it too, man. That's why it's a question on what we have to ask ourselves, man. Are you truly like pressing towards the mark, or are you dwelling on the sins that you have committed in the past, right? Or are you constantly committing the same sin and not trying to overcome it? You know, or every time you're around this person, this sin bites you in the back, right? Every time you drink this amount, you know, this sin happens, right? We have to examine ourselves daily to see if we're really walking in the faith, man. And to have faith is truly trust in the Lord in all your ways, right? And there's many ways for us to continually obtain that, and it really comes from repentance, forsaking sins, right? Being a brother to the brothers and a sister to the sisters, vice versa, a brother to a sister and a sister to a brother, right? And keeping these commandments. Really simple. Love thy neighbor as thy love thyself, right? And I also say that it'll go well with those, right, that do these commandments. So all these things just lump up into a whole thing, right, to get us to the end goal, to the kingdom, right? But it's so much that we have to do. People, because sometimes you have people that think it's all about the law, right? It's not all about the law, brother. It's not all about the law, sister. It's about that care and concern that you have for your people, right? And God really shows that to us a lot. And the precept that I'm holding, it really shows. It really shows that, you know. So remember, this is not going to be only keep the laws and follow the ways. Follow the ways is everything to do with the spiritual aspect of the Bible and the laws of the Bible, right? But I yield right there.
All praises, all praises. That's right. That's right. Right. Everything comes. It's not just law. You know, it's wisdom, it's understanding, it's charity, it's love, long suffering. You know, all of these things have to be embedded within our spirits in order to stay on that right path. Right, making the right decisions. You know, helping the brother out. You see him falling down off the side of a cliff, you're gonna help him up because you know that you're on the right path. You're gonna help that next brother or that next sister get on that right path with you. Next thing you know, we're in a massive migration through the wilderness. Next thing you know, we see the land afar off. You know what I'm saying? And we trying to get there, man. Right? All the destitutions we've been through, the tribulations, afflictions we've been through, the heartaches, the heartbreaks, and all of these things in between, man, right? On that long journey. But then when you see that land afar off and that kingdom shining afar off and you know what's there, right? You get that hope again. You get that joy again, right? And we might not see it physically, but guess what? We see it through the spirit, man. That's where faith kicks in. We know it's there. I might not look outside my window and see the light at the end, or like, yeah, that's the kingdom over there. Look, I can see it shining in the horizon. No, man, we can't see that. But guess what? We see it through the spirit, and we know it's coming if we stay on that right path and we stay on the path of the Lord, right? Shalom, shalom, Kareem. I meant to say that, so I pulled you up. Oh, praise, man, and peace and blessing to the 5 viewers that are in here right now. All right, so this is a mighty lesson right here, right? Giving you guys encouragement, giving you guys the proper understanding to kind of bring back to your remembrance. If you're on that right path, stay on that right path. And if you're not on that path, man, get on it, right? You don't want to miss this trolley, right, Cat?
Man, you don't miss that trolley. You don't miss that trolley. That's a long time for the next one. For the next one, come.
But another key thing we got to understand, man, that this way was already paved for us, right? Let me pull this up right here. This is the powerful one I wanted to pull up, man, through the spirit I have found it, right? This is Exodus chapter 23 and verse number 20, right? It says, behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared, man. Right, and we all know this account in Exodus, man, where the Most High sent the death angel to go clear the way for the enemy, so that way we can go to the promised land, man. Right, but on another fold, guess what? We the messengers, we the angels. Yahweh Shai is the ultimate angel, man, the ultimate messenger, the son, the king, man, that paved the way for us to make it to that kingdom. Right, we all in the wilderness right now. We all destitute of life, destitute of understanding and everything in between. But guess what? That angel was already set forth to pave that way for us and to prepare that way for us to get to the kingdom. All we got to do is take heed to that and hearken unto that, right? That's why it says here in verse 21, beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So beware of him, man. On a higher scale, man, we got to beware of Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai is that angel that paved the way for us, man. Right? And on a minor scale, beware of these brothers out here teaching this truth, man, and obey their voice, because their ultimate authority is coming from the Most High. The Most High tells us what to do. We put it in our utterance, and then we tell the people what to do. Ultimately, it's obeying the Most High voice. So if I tell you to keep the commandments, man, put on your fringes, stop eating pork, you should obey my voice, because I'm obeying the Father's voice. I'm only doing the will that the Most High told me to do. It's nothing out of that course, right? And if you don't listen to what I gotta say, the Most High's not gonna pardon your transgressions, man. Right? Oh, that brother said don't eat pork. I don't gotta listen to him, man. It's not you not listening to me. You're not listening to the Most High. You're not staying on that path, and you're not trying to get on that path, right? Verse 22. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies and an adversary unto thine adversaries. Right? So we all on that spiritual wilderness right now, trying to make it to the kingdom. Whatever's trying to sway you off the path and walking in the ways of the Lord, guess what? The Most High is going to guide you through that, man. All you got to do is hearken to his voice. All you got to do is do the will of the Father. You understand? And I'm going to pull that one up real quick. Walking in the way of the Lord is doing his will. Let's get that in the book of Psalms, chapter 40. And then I'm going to yield with this one. Psalms chapter 40, verse 8. I delight to do thy will, O my power, O Yahweh. Yea, thy law is within my heart. And what does law mean, man? Law means orders and instructions, Torah. You understand? And these instructions that was given to us on how to stay on that right path, how to stay on that conquest, to stay on that journey through this wilderness, has to be in our heart, has to be in our minds, man. That's the only way you're gonna stay on that path and to walk in the ways of the Lord, right? Now you,
I want to grab something in Joshua to your last point. You had said in that what last precept you had pulled? First
um,
Thessalonians.
Exodus 23.
Oh, Exodus 23. Yeah, it said, and I'll be an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries, right? When you trust in the Lord, right? When you listen to this brother that's coming voice, he gonna be against these people, right? That's against you. So I wanted
Mhm.
to go grab that right quick because that's exactly what happened in this account, right? Go to Joshua chapter 10 and verse number 7. No, yeah, verse number 8.
God. This is the book of Joshua, chapter 10, and verse number 8. And Yahweh said unto Joshua, fear them not, for I have delivered them into thine hand. There shall not a man of them stand before thee.
So he said, and in this time we was keeping the commandment, right? We were on a high level. And we had sacrifices going on at this time as well, right? So we was in good standing with the Lord, and he said, don't worry, right? Don't fear. I already delivered them unto your hands, and you ain't even gonna have to fight, right? They just gonna go ahead and move out the way. You understand? And that's exactly what happened, man. Yeah, we still fought. We still fought these people, right? But Yahweh let us know, don't worry, I already delivered them. They discomfited already. When you go over there, most of them gonna flee, and you're gonna have to catch them and kill them, right? So I just wanted to bring that out because you were saying in Exodus, when we trust in the Lord and we listen to the voice of the Mashiach Yahushua, he gonna be an enemy to our enemies and an adversary to our adversaries. And it's so true. He shows it so many times, right? Oh yeah, and you yield. So let me get Sirach 18 and start from the top.
God. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 18, and verse number 1. He that liveth forever hath created all things in general.
Hold on, that might be wrong. Give me a second. 18 and 1. Yeah, that's not it. My
17.
bad. Yeah, it might be 17. Hold on.
Do no
Nah,
evil, no harm shall come to thee. Is that the one you want?
nah. Hold on, Salaki. I was just there, but when I went got that, it threw me off. 28.
Okay, God.
28 and 1. Because there's a way that we have to deal with one another, and that's part of being on that walk, walking in the ways of Yahweh. You feel what I'm saying? Is uh this right here, which is forgiving your neighbor, having mercy, right? Being kind, right? Like the brother was going into earlier, the fruits of the spirit, right? But check this out. We're gonna read to verse 3.
God. Ecclesiasticus chapter 28, verse number 1. He that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance.
So we gotta understand that thing. If don't look for vengeance, don't revenge. When somebody does something to you, right? You ain't gotta do nothing back, right? Yahweh will go and handle that. You feel what I'm saying? And that's wisdom. I'm not. If you punch me in the face, right, and I hit you back, that means I now have to bear my sin, right? When really I could have just let the Lord deal with you and didn't have to sin at all, right? Because the Lord says, "What? Touch not the Lord's anointed." Right? We all have been anointed to be in this truth. We have got anointed with the wisdom. It's like oil. We got anointed with the brotherhood, like oil that ran down Aaron's beard, right? And when we every time we learn these laws, statutes, and commandments, and we love one another, that's you getting that oil poured on your head, man, right? So always remember when you revenge for yourself, you taking away the vengeance that come from the Lord. He said, he even say in the script, it says what? He said, vengeance is of the Lord, right? So
Mhm.
you can't these matters upon yourself and think that you walking in the ways of Yahweh. You gotta let Yahweh do Yahweh, right? Read on.
Reading on. Verse 2. Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he hath done unto thee.
Yeah, and that's what I was going into. Just because somebody punch you in the face don't mean you need to punch them back, right? That's where that turn the other cheek come from. Somebody aggravate you or talk crazy to you, that don't mean you got to talk crazy back, right? So it says, "Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he had done unto thee, so shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest." Right? So another thing that we have to do is we have to pray, right? But you have to forgive your neighbor the transgression that he transgressed against you, or the Lord ain't gonna forgive you, right? So it makes no sense to pray at that point, right? And a lot of women, y'all got this bad with your husband, man, where y'all want to hold a grudge with your husband. Well, guess what? When you fall down on your knees to pray for y'all situation, right? The Lord ain't gonna hear that prayer, even though it's a good prayer to have. He ain't gonna hear it because you still hate that man in your heart, man. And then sometimes it happens like that, and they can't forgive their mama or they can't forgive their sister. With women, this happens a lot, right? Where they just hold grudges. And all y'all need to remember, that if you forgive that person, your prayer gonna get heard. The more that you are holding on to grudges and grief and anger, right? Your prayers is being blocked, man. You got an angel just stiff arming your beautiful prayer,
Mhm.
right? Keep going.
Con. Verse 3. One man beareth hatred against another, and doth he seek pardon from the Lord?
Or we're gonna have to keep going. And he does, right? The dude that hate his neighbor is looking to the Lord for him to take all these damn ass whoopers off his back, give him a better job, bless him with a more righteous woman, right? But
Mhm.
you hating her in your heart. You hating your brother in your heart. You still got secretly, right? And you asking for this pardon from the Lord, man. Lord ain't trying to hear that, man. Right? Read on.
He showeth no mercy to a man which is like himself,
which
and doth
has
he.
which has faults, man. You don't want to forgive this brother or this sister, right? And you have faults. You go off. You sinned yesterday. You sinned the day before, right? Because this brother or sister sinned against you, right? You now you want to harbor hatred, bruh. You gotta let that go, man. We all gotta practice that a lot more, man. We gotta let that go, especially in our relationship, right? If you say you forgave it, bro. Let it go, right? Let's move forward in the right spirit, right? Read on from that part.
God. He showeth no mercy to a man which is like himself, and doth he ask forgiveness of his own sins?
And we could go into Matthew and get this same account in Matthew chapter 5, verse 23, man. Right? Before you come to the altar and try to get rid of your sins, and you got a or occasion with your brother that y'all ain't really talk about and discuss and get clarity on, you know what I mean? Leave therefore your gifts right before the Lord, before the altar, and go reconcile and then come back and offer this offering. Same thing with your prayers, man, right? And we get that from the wisdom of these three men that created the Book of Sirach. Man. The grandfather Sirach is the grandfather of Sirach, Sirach, and the son Jesus, man. Right. So let's keep reading. Salaki, I know I'm on a rant. I know I'm kind of, but go ahead.
Good, not good. Verse 5. If he that is but flesh nourish hatred, who will entreat for pardon of his sins?
Right. How the angels gonna go and talk to the Lord? Right? You sitting here, you just flesh, you dust and ashes, and you can't sit there and say, "Damn, you dust and ashes just like me." We always gonna mess up. Why the angel gonna sit there and help you from your sins that you can't forgive a person that's dealing with the same sinful flesh as you?
Mhm.
Oh, that's off, man. Right? And this is all part of the walk. Part of the walk is forgiving your brother, forgiving your sister for offending you, man. right? Whether it be a literal sin or a sin in offense, you know, right? So keep going. Salaki, my bad. Keep going.
Verse 6. Remember thy end and let enmity cease. It's like it. Remember thy end and let enmity cease.
So it says, remember your ends, right? Meaning we trying to get the kingdom, right? And you could die soon, right? Don't harbor this hatred. Because you could die tomorrow and you and this person were at odds. And then now they gotta explain, yeah, me and Double War, we was at odds. And I couldn't reconcile before he died, but this was a good brother. He always would have my back, but before he died, we was at odds. I never got the chance to make amends with that brother, man.
Mm.
You know, and now you got to live with that, man. Right. So it says, remember your end. Right. Read on.
And let enmity cease.
And let hatred stop. Right. Let that stop, man. Right. Go ahead.
Remember corruption and death.
Hey, man, remember that thing because it's coming. And then at the end of the day, you ain't going to be able to reconcile with that person because they dead. Right. Go ahead.
And abide in the commandments.
And abide in love, man. Right? And just stay in that thing of love, man. It's a commandment for us to forgive one another, man. It's a commandment for us to go to the elders and get judgment on the matter and execute that judgment exactly how the priest said so, right? Or they gonna kill you. So it's a commandment for us to resolve issues, man. Right? That's you walking in the commandments of the Lord, right? Is walking in love. It says, uh, my bad. Let me get back to the precept right quick. It says the corruption, remember corruption and death, right? Remember that you're gonna die, man, right? And the Lord could jam you up and abide in the commandments, and that's abide in love, man. Abide in the way that you treat your neighbor, man, right? Make sure that's your covenant. That you always seeking to treat your brother, your sister better, your wife, your husband, your children, right? That's part of the mission and part of the walk as well. And I yield right there.
God, I want to bring out something on verse 5 as well, right? And another understanding. If he that is but flesh nourish hatred, who will entreat for pardon of his sins? Meaning, if you dealing with situations in the fleshly nature, right? You walk in the way of the world, right? You walk in you have hatred towards your brother, because you're leaning more on the flesh for your understanding on how to deal with the situation. You don't know how to deal with that situation because you're not dealing with it in the spirit, man. Right? Like Cap said, man, you're not going. Your sins ain't gonna be heard, pursuant to John chapter 9 and verse 31. Right? That's going against it, right? You have to deal with the matter in a spiritual sense and not in the fleshly matter, right? Your flesh wants to nurse this hatred, but when you're dealing with the situation on a spiritual level, it's not even going to be there, right? We know how to handle the situation, Verse 6, remember thy end and let enmity cease. Remember corruption, meaning what? Meaning your flesh is easily corrupted. Your flesh can easily get, what's that word I'm looking for? Deteriorate, man. Your flesh can deteriorate day in and day out if you abide in the flesh and not in the spirit. And at the end, the result of that, man, you keep walking on that path. Death is the result of that, right? Because the wages of sin is death, right? The wages of walking in the flesh is death. The wages of not dealing in the spirit and walking in the spiritual manner is death. That's why it says here also abide in the commandments. Why? Because Romans 7 and verse 14, man, the law is spiritual, right? So you have to deal in the spirit and not in the flesh, right? Because your flesh can deteriorate. Next thing you know, you're going off, man. You in on a different pathway. You in the flesh pathway and not in the spirit, right? Verse 7, I want to hit that with the hammer, right? Remember the commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest. And that's going back to what? The book of Leviticus, man, right? Love your neighbor as thyself, man. Don't hold no grudges against your people, man. That's fleshly deeds. That's a fleshly manner and not spiritual. And if you dwell in the flesh, guess what, man? You're gonna deteriorate. Now, next thing you know, you corrupted. Next thing you know, you damn sick, and you ain't no going back because you too far in, man. You gotta beat that thing down with the spirit, man. You gotta beat that thing down with the commandments. Ultimately, what we read from verse 5 to verse 6, verse 7 is hitting it with the hammer, ultimately saying, remember the covenant of the highest, referring back to what, man? Love thy neighbor as thyself.
That's
right? And wink at ignorance, meaning what? You got a brother that has an alt with you, you know what I'm saying? Turn the other cheek, man. He don't know. He don't know what's going on. He don't know how to dwell in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? He have strife with you. He's backsliding towards you. Oh man, I hate that nigga, man. Hey, but he don't know the commandments, man. Just turn the other cheek on that, brother. Hey, man, you don't even know, brother. It's all right, man. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna help you out. If you need help, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Wink at that ignorance.
And sometimes to lock in, sometimes you kind of just that wink could be like shaking your head, like, man, nigga, man, he don't know no better.
Mm-hmm.
You feel kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I know what I know, so I gotta let this go. But this dude, this woman, that's sad, right? So you see so much happen behind people holding down grudges, man. That's why I said a man that he didn't say a man that vengeance, that right, that vengeance himself, right? Now, but it says a man that revengeance, right? That you somebody do something to you and your ass hurt them back. But really you're supposed to wink at it. You're supposed to say, like, dang, he don't even know. Right? Like David in the book of Samuel, right? First Samuel, about chapter
16.
about,
16.
but chapter I think it was like 27. He said he look at Saul and he like, bro, like, and he checking the dude that was supposed to be saving Saul, right? He checking dude that's supposed to be saving Saul, and he like, man, bro, look in the trench, man. Look where I put your staff at, Saul. Like, how you going? Like, I keep on letting you slide, bro. Like, and look how you treating me. What iniquity, what sin have I done unto you for you want to kill me? Right? And Saul had to check himself. He was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna give you some stuff, and you go ahead and go to the next city because I don't wanna go after you no more, right? And that's the type of spirit we gotta have, man. You know, is you trying to kill me, but the Lord told me, touch not the Lord's anointed, right? So I can't kill you, right? Same spirit going on right here. I yield though, my bad. I didn't mean to jump in there like that. The spirit was on me when you had said that though.
God, I plug my phone up real quick. Where we at? Yeah, man. Look, man. That walking in the flesh, man, dealing unrighteously with your people, not walking in the commandments, man, that's not the path. That's not the way of the Lord, man. Right? Abiding in the ways of the Lord, doing what he tells us to do. You know what I'm saying? Being at peace with the brethren. Everything in between, everything we know. If you in this truth, you know the path, man. So don't sway from that path. Walk in the ways of the Lord, man. And that's why the topic of this video is are you walking in the ways of the Lord? This is to re-examine yourself. You might be doing it at this time. You might be kind of swaying off a little bit there. Damn, that brother's right, man. I was kind of doing that the other day, man. This is to get you back in the spirit, you know, to come back to that understanding and re-examine yourself. You yielding my precepts?
Yeah. Proverbs chapter 10 and verse number 8. We're gonna read 8 to 9.
Okay, let me go back to the blue letter. All right. Proverbs 10 and verse 8. Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 8. It says, the wise in heart will receive commandments, but a prating fool shall fall.
A prating fool shall fall, man. Like you breathe, right? You breathe foolishness, right? Go ahead. Bring it out.
Prating, lip, language, speech, shore, bank, brink, brim, side, edge, border, binding. Let me go to the Strongs. The language, analogy, margin, vessel, water, cloth, right? Basically, you storing in
Foolishness.
foolishness, right? Yeah, con.
So it says the wise in heart will receive commandments, and we know we want to be those wise five virgins, right? So we seeking, right? But the wise in heart receive commandments, and that wisdom is commandments. But a prating fool shall fall, right? Because if you a prating fool, you somebody who abound themselves or cover themselves in sin, talking about sin, looking forward to sin, just sin, right? That guy finished. That woman finished, right? So read verse 9 for me.
Verse 9. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely.
But if you wise and you keep these commandments, you walk surely, man. Right? You don't have a question if the Lord is going to save you out of coming trials and tribulations. There's no question. You already know to trust in the Lord, and all your ways shall be prosperous. Right? Go ahead.
But he that perverteth his ways shall be known.
But that person who pervert their ways shall be known. Your sins is going to go right up to the Father, right? And He's going to judge you for. But a guy that want to be godly and upright, he damn keep his soul. He watch what he do, watch what he takes in. Don't listen to this music, only listen to that music. That brother, that sister, right? That's safeguarding their soul. That person is gonna be what it says right here, right? Salakia. Where we at?
Uh,
8. Con
verse
9, right?
9, 9. He
Walk
that
upright.
walketh uprightly walketh surely.
You will be sure, right? It'll be sure that you'll be safe, right? When it says surely, right, it really means to go into safety or security, right? So
Mhm.
you're gonna have that safety, you're gonna have that security in the Lord, right? I yield.
Con. That's a beautiful thing, man. Just imagine a brother, walking to his destination with nothing on him, nothing to hold him down, nothing to weigh him back, right? He's gonna make it to that destination a lot faster than a brother walking with a damn beer keg on his shoulder and another one on his hand, and he's struggling. He got to stop here and there. He kind of like trying to pull that. Hey, that keg or that vessel he carrying, man, is full of foolishness, full of
Huh?
iniquity. I can make it. Nah, I can do it. No, man, you holding on to things that's holding you back. God. Everybody else is walking on that path. They don't got nothing holding them back, man. But that foolishness, man. Now you don't even know if you're gonna make it. Next thing you know, brothers is ahead of you, and you holding yourself back because you still perverting your ways, man. Right? And it's known. Now I'm looking back like, damn, well, he wanted to hold that keg, them vessels full of that foolishness. Now I'm looking back like it's known to us, man. You
Man,
understand?
yes indeed. I got another precept, but if you got something, go ahead.
Let me know when you're here because I got a 3-piece again.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, man. Let me get Psalms classic, right? Psalms chapter 1, man. Everybody should know Psalms 1, right? Psalms 1 and 1. It says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Meaning, don't consult yourself around ungodly people who just bear nothing but foolishness, iniquities, and transgressions, man. You're going to remain in those curses. You're going to remain trodden down, right? But the Most High is going to deal with you if you're walking on his path. Meaning what? When you walking on that pathway, you walking in the spiritual wilderness, you're going to make sure that river's in the right spot. He gonna make sure you get to that right tree with the apples and the oranges and the fruits. Okay, let me pick the apple and the fruit. Hey, the Most High is provided for you, man. Why? Because you counseled by the Most High to walk on His path, and you're not counseling yourself with the ungodly. You know what I'm saying? If you counsel yourself with the ungodly and you walk within their ways and on their path, man, next thing you know, you're struggling. Next thing you know, you kind of like, damn, man, I don't know what to do. I'm lost. You lost with the lost, man. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being lost with those that are found, then you're gonna be found again with them.
Uh,
You know, nor standeth in the way of sinners. Meaning, don't mingle around people who just built on transgression and iniquities. Don't stand in that way. That's not the way you want to walk in. You understand? Let's go hit the slick. Let's go drive by on the ops, man. Let's go rob that store, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's snatch that lady purse. You understand? Nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Right? You don't want to sit around brothers who are scoffing and scorning all day. We don't need that, man. We know what we doing. You know what I'm saying? We finding our own path. You know what I'm saying? Let's counsel. Let's all sit together and figure out what we want to do in this world. Yeah, and everybody's just cheering. You know, they scorning, man. We don't need what they talking about, man. You understand? That's foolishness. Verse 6 is what I want. Let's get to the point. It says, "For Yahweh knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish." Meaning what? The Most High also knows the way of the righteous, but he also knows the way of the ungodly. And he gives us that map, and he gives us that GPS. He gives us those coordinates to walk in the way of the righteous, man. But guess what? The GPS and the map of the ungodly is also made known to us as well. Which path are you going to walk on? You understand? I know the way of the ungodly. I used to walk in that way. I know the coordinates. I know the location. I know how to get there, right? But I also know the way of the righteous. And guess what? I'm going to set my coordinates to? Righteous living, man. Keeping these commandments. Following the path of the Lord. You understand? I want to pull this picture up real quick. Mighty picture right here. Right? Another way and God's way, right? Yahweh's way. You don't want to be these multiple brothers and sisters here walking on that same path to a plain living, right? You want to walk in this pathway to the left, man, by yourself if you have to. You understand?
Man.
The two brothers who's going to follow you. How many brothers and sisters in this picture here are going to see this one Jake walking this way and go with him, right? You can see in this picture as well that they're not following him. But you want to be that brother that follows this brother right here, man. He knows that pathway. The Most High showed him the coordinates, so he's going to go that way. Guess what, man? We that Jakes, man. We not these other Jakes walking to the way of destruction, right? And this is the classic Matthew chapter 7, verse 13 picture right here, right? Precept already provided. Right here it says, share this part, boom. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. What does it mean, wide and broad, man? I mean, it's all open for everybody to come in, right? Everybody come join this way. It's free. Do what you want to do. Don't listen to the Lord, man. This way we go to the club. We doing what we want. We live the way we want to live. No, man, you don't want to live that way, man. You don't want to go that way because that's the way that's going to lead you to destruction, man. That lake of fire, right? And many there be which go in thereat, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So you want to walk on that narrow path, man. That's the way of the Lord. Are you walking on that narrow path? Or are you walking in the way everybody wants to do, man? Right? Everybody's all watching the Olympics. They're going to the Olympics. They're worried about the Super Bowl coming up. We ain't worried about the damn Super Bowl coming up, man. We're worried about the kingdom right now. We're worried about getting our people out this damn mindset so that they can walk on that same path we walking in, man. Right? This way right here is plain, and that's what brings me to my next precept. Right?
Con, you talking about it, you bringing that thing out. All praise to God. And we read that precept already. We didn't start from 20, but we did read 25 to 27. So yeah, that's a beautiful precept.
Con, this is Sirach. Let me show this. Boom. Sirach chapter 32 and verse number. I start at 19. It says, "Do nothing without advice, and when thou hast once done, repent not." Right? Because the advice that we're providing is that good counsel. It's not the counsel of the ungodly. Once you do that, don't second think it, man. Right? Because that's the way we trying to get you to go. Is don't, oh man, I don't know, man. I love the ways of the world, man. Why I listen to them brothers? You know what I'm saying? Don't hearken on those type of thoughts because you're gonna fall in that understanding. Go not in the way wherein thou mayest fall, and stumble not among the stones. Be not confident in a plain way, right? So don't walk on that plain path, man, right? Don't go in the way where you're gonna get hurt. You cutting your knees up. You know what I'm saying? You want to take the high road and the hard road when the Most High already made the way for you, man. Now I'm gonna go this way. I think above them rocks, and I'm gonna kind of go over there. And next thing you know, you in the thorns, man. And everybody else walking on the path the Most High provided for them for safety, man. Like we read in Deuteronomy chapter 23, right? You want to go your own way. You understand? Now, next thing you know, you jammed up. You understand? Let me get this in there. I want to get this in the GNT is what I wanted to do too. Real quick. 30 verse close this out real quick. It says, verse 20, don't take a course of action that is dangerous, and don't make the same mistake twice. Don't be too sure of yourself, even when the way looks easy. Always watch where you are going. Whatever you do, be careful. This is keeping the Lord's commands, right? So you hearkening on your own understanding. Right here, it says, even when the way looks easy. You might think it looks easy. Next thing you know, you jammed up because you're not watching where you are going, right? Because you blind now. You're walking in your own blind path instead of trusting in the Lord to be your eyes, to be your vision, to be your coordinator, to be your GPS. You want to follow your own way, your own understanding, because you think it looks easy. Next thing you know, you jammed up because you were not watching where you were going. Trust in the Lord, right? That's why it says here, whatever you do, be careful. This is the keeping of the Lord's commands. Lord commanded us to follow him and to trust in him, like we just read at the beginning of this live, Deuteronomy chapter 6. The Lord our God is one Lord, right? He knows our way. We got to trust in the Lord with all our mind, heart, and understanding. That's how you keep his commands. Follow his instructions, right? And I yield with that one.
Con, hey, go get for me Proverbs 17 and verse number 9. Because this is another way to stay walking in the paths of Yahweh.
Con.
Yeah, this is another way to do that. Like I said, man, it's a package deal. The way we deal with moving towards that mark, it's a whole bunch of things. Like I had a brother named Jalil, man. Shout out to that brother, man. Shalom to that brother. He he was telling me one time, he was like, man, I feel like you know I feel like in this walk, I get stagnant because it's just like the same thing, okay, another Sabbath, okay, another feast day, okay, another commandment I'm keeping the commandments, whatever. Boom, man, when you're doing it for so long, he feels stagnant. And I told him, I said, well, the next thing that you need to do, King, is focus on the spiritual things, right? Learn how to be more loving, more stop having foolish thoughts, because there's always more that we could do to keep us on fire for the Lord and not just going through the motion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what I need to work on? I need to work on patience. You know what else I need to work on? Not being angry, right? You know what else I need to work on? I need to work on my appetite, right? Me not eating so much, right? Because I'm depressed, or what else I need to work on? Not sleeping so much, right? All these different things is constant measures that we need to meet, right? I yield on that topic, but let's.
I want to just I want to make a quick point on what you said. That's the same way, like the book of Nehemiah, man. When they came out of Babylon, they were building the temple, right? If you tired of just pouring the cement all day, man, this is all I've been doing, man. Do another job for the position, man. So start laying the roof down or something, right? At my job, I've been doing the same position for a long time, and I'm always like, man, I'm tired of the repetitiveness of this damn position. Let me inquire about doing something else in the same building, and I feel 10 times better. Right now, I want to come to work on time. Now I got a new mission and something to keep me pushing forward. It's the same thing with this truth. You tired of pouring cement to build the kingdom, right? I said, do something else to build the kingdom, right? Now let me start trying to do some roofing on the kingdom. Let me make sure the doors. Let me be the measurement guy now, right? You have to refresh yourself constantly in this truth, because if you keep doing something in simplicity, keep the commandments, Sabbath, holy days, and that's it, you're gonna feel stagnant in this thing, like nothing's moving forward. Make some videos. You know what I'm saying? Hold a Bible study class or something. Do music if you got to do music for the ministry. You know what I'm saying? There's always something, like Kat brought out, man. There's always something more to do in this truth, and in order to not be stagnant, because you don't want to keep walking on this path and just be like, man, I've been walking on the same road for a long time, man. I need something new. No, there's always something you can do on that path. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a beautiful point I wanted to bring out.
Same thing with it is a beautiful point. And the same thing too with women, man, because a lot of times women just think them being obedient to their husband, that's enough. Now there's more you could do. You could sow, you could help us grow grapes so we can make our own wine, right? You could cook, help decorate for the high holy days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some camps, they got their own what they call them, hospitality team, right? So there's things that all parties can do. But let's get into it.
Chapter 17 and verse
17 and verse 9.
9. Proverbs 17 and 9. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love. But he that repeateth a matter separateth very friends.
So the person that covered transgressions, meaning you always go out of your way to make things right, to make amends, right? That person that always trying to make amends, right? They always gonna cover up transgression. They're gonna cover up sins that they commit to their brother. And then it says, but he that repeated the matter separate very friends. But if you come back, if you tell me I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, and then you do it again and again and again and again, you could separate that friendship, right? Like a conversation we had with a brother, he said he don't like being called out of his name. Well, now I know that I can't call you out of your name, right? But if I do that again, it'll separate very friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
So read on.
Verse 10. A reproof entereth more into a wise man than 100 stripes into a fool. Whew, that's fire.
So correction, right? It helps a wise man, but a fool, you can't whoop him 100 times and get him to act right, right? But a wise man, when he create a sin or he offend his brother, it was days when I offended Bayan, and the next day I'm in my spirit, like, nigga, damn, I feel bad. I want to call this nigga, but I know he probably still mad at me, and I'm still mad at him. And I, in my spirit, I'm like, I gotta do something. I gotta do something. A wise man is gonna feel that after he transgresses against his friend or against God. He's gonna feel that conviction, man. You know, if I gotta make this right, you know, and that's a beautiful thing. But a fool, you can't whoop this nigga or this woman, right, 100 times and make him do right, right? Because the Lord just didn't put that spirit in him, right? He didn't get the gift from the Most High, right? Read on.
God. Verse 11. An evil man seeketh only rebellion.
Says an evil man, an evil person seek only rebellion, right? That means he don't even give a damn about these commandments. That's why you see when you see people come to the camp and or you see people set up and you trying to cut these Jehovah Witnesses, these Catholics about the image of Christ and how the doctrine is bad over there, this, that, and the third. A rebellious person, right? He only gonna seek evil. He gonna say, nah, man, you tripping, that ain't what that say, or try to divert the topic, or you know, all these different things. But a righteous man, a wise man, gonna say, okay, that makes sense, right? But an evil person, nah, man, I want to keep sinning. Why would I believe in a doctrine that's gonna put restrictions on my life when I have a doctrine that allows me to continue to rebel, right? An evil person is gonna love to rebel. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. It says, therefore, a cruel messenger shall be sent against him.
And that's why you get all these different diseases, these different afflictions, shot, stab, harpoon in the heart, bing, right? Breakups, split ups, right? All these different things that happen is because you just only seeking to rebel. And now cruelty got to come on you, right? You get robbed, right? You the dope man, but you just took a L because they hit you for 50 grand, right? Oh man, why would this happen to me? Well, you rebel. You're rebelling, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I deal with that.
Con, all praises.
I'm
Man,
trying not
that's
to be too long winded.
nah. I'm gonna hit him with my last three piece combo that I got for sure, and then you can cook after that. And we could probably close out.
Yeah, we'll close out.
Con, but yeah, man. Yeah, that's a beautiful point too, though, man. They only seeking when you trying to, because what we do, you know what I'm saying. I can't speak for all camps, but I can speak for K.O.Y. What we do is when we go out trying to have a conversation with somebody about their doctrine or whatever belief. It could be a Jehovah's Witness, could be a Christian pastor, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It could be a Muslim, whatever. We not there in a point of contention. We trying to see where his mind is at and build points against points. Right? We're not all this and that. No, we're like, okay, let me see what you believe in, brother. Let me show you what I believe in. You know what I'm saying, you mind if we have a beautiful conversation, my brother, right? Or my sister, you know what I'm saying? This is how we come off in that type of spirit, right? We don't come in the spirit, oh, you a Muslim, you in the wrong doctrine, you need to cut it out, you gonna get destroyed. We don't come in that spirit. If I see a Muslim, if I see a Jehovah's Witness, if I see a Christian, because oh, how you doing, my brother? How you doing, my sister? Oh, you mind if I want to hear what you believe in. Let me I want to understand your doctrine. That way we can put ourselves in a position or put them in the position to want to understand our doctrine. And that's how we fish, right? This is the proper way to fish as well. So we can give them that point of hearing. Let's hear them out first, even though we know what they believe in. But let's give them the floor to hear them out. Then they'll be in the position to hear our doctrine out, and it'll be they're more susceptible to understanding what we believe in. But if we're like, yeah, you in Christianity, you need to cut it out. You're gonna be destroyed. This is we don't come off like that. Let me hear what you got to say, brother. Okay, let me hear what you believe in. All right, well, let me show you what I believe in. Then he's going to be more susceptible to have his ears inclined, and that can possibly convert him 100 times more than coming off that the other way. You get what I'm saying? So that's why it says here, an evil man seeketh only rebellion. He's always thinking of how to come against what we're saying. That's where his mind is at. You know what I'm saying? And if he turns his ear away from the truth, that cruel messenger gonna get up with him, man. You know what I'm saying? So we try to give them that opportunity to put themselves in a position to not be rebellious, because we don't come off as rebellious. I don't want to hear what you got to say. That doctrine is trash. It's boo boo. Get up out of my face. No, let me hear what you got to say. I'm not going to be rebellious to you to understand your position, and you shouldn't be rebellious to me to understand our position. Let's talk it out, brother. Let's talk it out, sister. You know what I'm saying? And we can possibly convert them that way and refrain them from having that cruel messenger being sent to them, because we have charity, we have long suffering, we have patience and love towards our people, no matter what they believe in. You know what I'm saying? It's at the end of the day. So that's a beautiful point I just want to bring out. Real quick. Yeah, I got this. Let me get this 3-piece though real quick, man. This is a powerful one right here. But yeah, and that's also a pathway of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? When we see we walking on the path in the wilderness, the spiritual wilderness, and we see somebody ill and sick on that pathway, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to be like, hey, man, what you believe in? Nah, man, let's keep going. No, man, I'm going to help that brother up. You know what I'm saying? Show him the path that we on. Give him an apple. Give him a banana, whatever, an orange. You know what I'm saying? Let him ride with us or walk with us on that path, and to see if he wants to stay on that course. He wants to stay on that course. If he wants to sway off, that's on him, between him and the Most High. But we still in the position to show him that path, regardless. You know what I'm saying? So let me get into it. I'm getting long with it, and that's lucky.
Nah, it's all good. Good. It makes sense. And seem like Kareem need to hear it. So, and when I'm listening to you, you got me thinking deeper on what I need to work on. So it's all praise to you, how. Hey, who's the bar? He's calling me. You heard
This
me
is
by your.
proper. Okay, here we go. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse number 20, right? It says, my son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother. Meaning we have to use the commandments and wisdom as a parenting guide to us, to guide us in this walk, having both parents. You know what I'm saying? And that's the beauty of this thing, because a lot of people growing up with both parents are more susceptible to have a better path in their life than having half and half, right? You don't want to be lukewarm on both sides. You know what I'm saying? A lot of hurt and a lot of pain comes from that on the physical level, but on the spiritual level, once you have both the commandments and you walk in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which comes from the commandments, because the father tells the mother how to deal with the household, and everything's going to be just in order, right? So you want to have the father's commandments and the law of the mother, the wisdom, the instructions that come from the mother, right? Which comes from that wisdom. Verse 21 says, bind them continually upon thine heart and tie them about thy neck. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. Meaning what? Wherever you go, you have this yoke, this collar on you to keep you restrained, to walk in that path and to keep you on the path in the ways of the Lord, right? Wherever you go, we're not free from these chains, right? We're servants of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So we have to put that yoke on us, chain ourselves to the commandment, and let him guide us, because we're his servants, right? And we ain't talking about no unlawful servitude. We're not talking about getting beat, getting trodden down, because a lot of our people like to tie that yoke and attach themselves to the ways of the world and the ways of Esau, and he pulling you, get your ass over here, doing whatever he wants with you, treating you very perverse, and now you all destroyed mentally. But when we bind ourselves with that yoke and that chain, and we let the Most High lead us, man, and we're going to be happy, man. Right? Kareem, are you going to get a sheep, be like, get your ass over here, and you spanking that sheep, and get your ass in the damn barn gate? Oh, I'm tired of it. Or you going to be like, come on, sheep, you know what I'm saying? You want some grass? I got you, man. I love my animals. I'm at peace with my creatures, man. I'm at peace with the things I love. You know, you're going to treat that sheep nice. You're going to feed them water. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make sure the yard is nice and prepped for the sheep that you got in your barn gates, because this is how we deal as a people. You understand? This is what we're going to do. So when thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. Meaning, when you're in your sleep, you have nothing to worry about, right? You're not having tremors. You're not having nightmares at night. You're not waking up frightened or none of that, man. Right? Because you're tied and you're yoked to something that's going to keep you safe, something that's going to keep you mentally sane to stay on that yoke. You don't got nothing to worry about, right? And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. Meaning, when you wake up from that sleep, when you wake up from feeling safe, everything is good, man. Now you know that next path for that next day that you're going to take is going to guide you, right? And when they tell you what to do, it's going to guide you in the right way. Okay, come on, sheep. It's time to come out, 6 a.m. in the morning, right? Get some good water. And next thing, the sheep all happy. You know they got a good master over them. You understand? So that's the yoke we need to attach ourselves to. We don't want the yoke tied to the world where they're treating us perverse ways and destroying us and beating us. No, we the sheep that needs to be attached to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, where we're treated well, we're guided on a good path and walking on the way of the Lord. So make sure you want to have that yoke on. And what is that yoke? Let's get that in Matthew chapter 11. Right? Matthew chapter 11 and verse number 28. Right? It says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden. Right? Because we labor, you know what I'm saying? We do all this work. We have a lot of burdens on us, right? But that's because we attach our yoke in that chain to the ways of the world, is why we have to labor and we're heavy laden, right? But we want to reattach ourselves with that yoke and that chain to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And when we do that, guess what? We're going to have rest, and I will give you rest. Verse 29, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart. See that? We want to attach ourselves to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man, because Yahweh Shai, he's meek and he's lowly in heart. He's going to treat the sheep well. Oh, you need some water? I got you, man. Look at that beautiful sheep, man. Look at this nice fur and nice wool on that sheep. And I love my animals, man. I love my creatures. I love my things that belong to me, right? We want to be that sheep with the yoke tied to Yahweh Shai, man, right? Why Yahweh? And ye shall find rest unto your souls. Not only is our physical presence good, you know what I'm saying? We healthy and all these things, but our inner parts, our souls, our spirits are finding rest. Right? Verse 30. For my yoke is easy and my
Yeah.
burden is light. You know what I'm saying? What the Egyptians had us doing, man. Had us sweating, whipping us in the back. You know what I'm saying? Even over here in America, whipping us in the back, pick that cotton. You know what I'm saying? Fingers bleeding with thorns, you know what I'm saying? But doing the work and being that yoke and being a servant to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, guess what? That's the easy thing to do, man. It's more peaceful. You get more rest in your spirit, man. That's the yoke you want to attach yourselves to. That's the way of the Lord that you want to be guided on. You don't want to be pulled by the world, but you want to be on that yoke and that chain pulled by Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's the guidance that we want, right? And I got one more on that just to top that off.
Better on that.
Go to my classic. Sirach chapter 33 and verse number 24, right? It says, fodder, a wand, and burdens are for the ass, and bread, correction, and work for a servant, right? So we need that bread, which is that understanding, right? And when we sway from that understanding and start going off, we need that correction. And what keeps us on that path of correction, reproof, correcting ourselves, is to keep doing the work for the kingdom in this truth as a servant to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, right? Verse 25. If thou set thy servant to labor, thou shalt find rest. But if thou let him go idle, he shall seek liberty. You don't want to let that yoke and that chain tied to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai go. You don't want to break it off yourself, right? Oh, I'm free. I can do whatever I want. And then next thing you know, you're going off in the ways of the world, right? If you're not doing no work to keep you non-stagnant in this truth, and you're going to want to just, go free and do whatever you want. You need to have something to do by the guidance of the Most High and His Son, right? We need that work to do is what keeps us following this path. Like I said, we in the spiritual wilderness, we're all in that pathway trying to make that journey, trekking thousands of miles to the kingdom, right? We want to find stuff to do in between. Okay, let's stop. Let's camp here. Let's knock some of this wood down. Let's build a fire. All right, let's gather some of the apples from that tree. Let's camp here. Eat. Let's do some work, and then the next day continue on that path. Right now, you land in the next day. Let's camp here. Okay, we're gonna gather some water from that river, fill up our vessels. You go outside, gather some wood. You know what I'm saying, things like that. Camp that night. Next day, stay on that path. So you always want to constantly find something to do in this truth instead of just remain here. Oh man, I'm tired of this damn journey. I have nothing to do. I'm just gonna go do what I want to do. Let me find something that I want to do. You don't want to do that, man. Right? Watch this. A yoke and a collar do bow the neck. Right? So we want to make sure that yoke and that collar, right, tied to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, is going to keep us continually bowing, which is also another word for servitude, right? Worshiping, making us bow to continue to serve the Most High and the Son, to stay on that good path, that guided path that we find rest on our souls, right? That's going to continue to keep us in check to do the will of the Lord, right? And when we continue to do the will of the Lord, we're going to always be in that peaceful state when we're in this truth and doing the work, man, right? I find peace when I go to camp. I find peace when I do these videos. You know what I'm saying? And I speak for the brothers too, right? But it says here, so are tortures and torments for an evil servant. You don't want to be a rebellious servant. You don't want to backslide. Well, why I got to do this camp stuff, man? Why I got to stay in this truth? I don't want to do the work, man. I don't want to build the kingdom, right? Then you're going to receive tortures and torments for that evil servant, right? Verse 27. Send him to labor that he be not idle, for idleness teacheth much evil. So you want to continue to do the work, man. And to do the work, you have to be guided on that yoke and that collar tied to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And that work that you're doing is not grievous, right? Like I said in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 on down, right? His yoke is easy. He's not going to whip us in the back. I need you to build this wall 28 hours, no breaks, no water. He ain't doing this like that, man, right? 6-hour shift, do the work a little bit, rest, get you a little peace. You know what I'm saying? We want to be at peace when we do this work. So we have to stay on that path. I'd rather be on that path than to be treated perversely, tying my yoke in that chain to the ways of this world and the ways of Esau, no peace, heartbreak, everything in between. No, I'm gonna tie my yoke to the path in the ways of the Lord, right? And I yield with that. I know I got long winded because I had a 3-piece, but all praise to the Most High, I was able to bring that out.
Nah, God, hey, that's fire though. That was all praise to Yahweh, man. Shalom, Taziyathan. It's good to see you in the chat, Cap. Right. So I got one last one and we'll get up out of here, right? All praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So this right here is another thing that we need to work on, right? Walking in this truth, right? I want you to get for me Sirach chapter 30, 37 and verse 22 to 24. This is something that's gonna help us in the long run with preserving us in this truth, right? These are actions to take to where you don't put more problems in your life than you have to have, right? So let's go ahead and read it.
God, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse number 22. Another is wise to himself, and the fruits of understanding are commendable in his mouth.
So these things, and when we operate, so there's two ways to look at this, right? Is one way is that a man, everything is right in a man's own eyes. He has every way to justify sin. That's what man and woman is about, justifying sin. Well, they did this, so this happened. I did that, so that happened. It's not really a sin. I did, you kind of like telling the Most High what's a sin and what's not a sin, right? That a man could do that. A wise man could do that, right? But a wise man in the Lord, right? It says another is wise unto himself, and the fruits of understanding are commendable in his mouth. Meaning, what you do for the Lord in wisdom, right? You're gonna hold those things in your mouth. So when you talk, you're gonna express that. You're gonna express the words of wisdom from Yahweh, right? Which is His law, statutes, and commandments, and it's gonna bring forth fruit of understanding, right? So read on.
Verse 23. A wise man instructeth his people, and the fruits of his understanding fail not.
And this guy, yeah, I wouldn't have did that. So look in the drawer. Look in the drawer. They got a mitt. Salakia, y'all. So go ahead and read that again, Salakia. That was funny.
A wise man instructeth his people, and the fruits of his understanding fail not.
God, so a wise man instructed people, and the fruits of his understanding fell not. Because you're going to preserve yourself by putting in that work. One of the commandments that the Lord gave us through this parable is go into the highway and hedges and bid them to come into the marriage, right? Because he had a table and a whole marriage set up, right? But nobody was there, right? So he told us to go out and grab our people, right? So another thing that is good for this walk is going out there and express the word, man, whether it be at work, whether it be on the line, right, at camp, whether it be walking by the way, right, or crossing the street, or riding on a trolley, or taking the bus. Give the word in some way, form, or fashion, because it's going to help you keep your understanding, right? Read the next verse.
Verse 24. A wise man shall be filled with blessing, and all they that see him shall count him happy.
So a wise man, from keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, he's going to constantly be able to identify his blessing, and so will other people. And when you read up, right? Hey, do a favor for me. Read verse 17, because this is something that we have to understand, that this is part of the walk too, right? Checking your, right, how you come off, right? Bayan, I've seen it in his countenance, he was tired as hell. He came in the door though. He came in the door, and the way that we greet one another, I seen that it was like, oh, I love you too. We didn't even say that to each other, right? But in his countenance, that's what I see. Our women and us, we have to watch our countenance with our spouse, right? Because a lot of times you might not be feeling the way, but because of your countenance, it makes it look like you're feeling this way, right? So we have to also in this truth, in this walk, watch our countenance, right? So read verse 17.
Verse 17. The countenance is a sign of changing of the heart. Mm.
So whether you look happy in your spirit, in your face, or whether you look disgusted or angry in your spirit or your face, right? Is going to show. And that's how we see that. And then now we react off of that vision of your face, of what you showed me through spirit,
What they
right?
what they say what they say in the world. He glowing or she glowing. Damn, she glowing
Yeah.
today. Yeah, man.
So that's a big deal too as well. And it made me think about that when I read when you read 24, a wise man shall be filled with blessing, and all that see him shall count him happy. You're gonna look at that man and say, yeah, that brother is a believer, right? You're gonna look at his visage, right? His the way that his posture is and the fringes he got on or she got on, and you're gonna say, yeah, that brother, that sister dealing with blessing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all praises to the Most High, man. Even on the street, bro, when I'm walking and I'm going to the trolley to go to work, I make sure when I pass people that I have a slight smirk on my face, a slight smile on my face to show that it's possible to be happy in this captivity, man. Right? So that way my light is shining on them. You know what I mean? When you walk down the street and you letting your countenance be happy, people look at you and say, damn, I wonder what that brother happy about. And he got those little things on his shirt. So next person that they see, they're like, damn, I saw somebody with those on. They wasn't, because if you was walking mean, they wouldn't look at you long. But if you walking and you smirking and you happy, right, they kind of look at you longer like, damn, what he so happy about? Right? What you so happy about? Right? So I just wanted to bring that out because that's part of the walk too, of checking the way that you look, right? Physically on your face, man, right?
Right.
And it makes you
Right.
more approachable. It makes you more seem more loving, more caring, right? So I wanted to bring that out as part of the walk too, that we all could check. So I yield.
God, I want to pull this one last one out real quick on mine. It says James 1 and 2 to 3, right? My friends or my brethren, right? Consider yourselves fortunate when all kinds of trials come your way. For you know that when your faith succeeds in facing such trials, the result is the ability to endure. Right. So when we're facing trials and tribulations, you can't be like, man, oh, tired of this. No, I'd be like, okay, yeah, all right. I know when I make it out of here, I'm gonna make it. I gotta endure through this. Right. And when you make it through that trial, now you're joyful. Now your countenance is re-risen, is re-waking up. You know what I'm saying? Don't let your countenance fall when you're going through affliction. That's why it says count it all joy. Let's get the classic of that, right? My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, right? Keep that countenance glowing, even though we're facing affliction, trials and tribulations, because we know, right? Knowing this, that the trying of your faith, when our faith and our belief is constantly tried, it worketh patience, and that patience is endurance, right? Into the end. Because we know the greater outcome when we get through these things. Don't just give up. Because when you're giving up and you're not giving up, spirit, man, I'm tired of this, I'm done. Now your countenance is falling. Keep your countenance risen up. You know what I'm saying? And you can also show other people that that's the way to walk in the path of the Lord, right? The ways of the Lord, and they might want to follow you. Man, I was going through that too, man. You went through that too. This is why I say it's very important that when you're teaching these commandments, you're teaching the people how to come to the law, statutes, commandments, come to the Most High. But it's also very important, right? This is one thing I commend people in Christianity, and this is how Christianity gets so much followers to follow them, even though their doctrine is kind of off right there, right? But what they apply to their gathering of their people, their believers or whatnot, is that they provide testimony. Man, yeah, I was in jail, man. I got out and I found Jesus Christ, man. Now we doing resurrections, or what they call revivals and all this stuff. This is how they get so many people, because they provide testimonies along with them trying to teach the truth. I mean, teach their doctrine. We have to provide testimonies along with teaching the true doctrine, right? Of course, we understand this is the truth, But when you provide testimonies, it gives another brother that insight. Like, damn, man, you so happy out here, man. You went through all of that stuff, but look at you, man. You happy though. Like, you look, man. The Most High got me, and He can get you too. Oh yeah, you right, man. Next thing you know, you got a sheep now. You got a brother that wants to walk with you on that path of the Lord, right?
Yeah, I like that.
On the other end, Ecclesiasticus 25:17, the wickedness of a woman changeth her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. Right? So the woman would change her appearance just to sway you into coming into what she wants you to do, right? Darkeneth her countenance means she covers her true intentions and her true feelings like a dark sackcloth. She just puts a covering over herself and she puts that mask on by changing her face to come to the approach of what she wants you to do. You know what I'm saying? She covers her inner wickedness or her inner self to try to sway you off your path, man. She just puts on a damn costume, what we can say. You know what I'm saying? And a costume, we know a costume covers your whole body. Halloween, they do Halloween. You don't, that man in the damn It costume, you don't know what he looked like under that. The woman does the same thing. She changes her face. You don't know who's under that costume. You don't know the true intentions. You know what I'm saying? That's powerful. Man, watch out for that countenance. Even on the other hand, real quick, brother, you know what I'm saying? You can come up, hey, how you doing, my brother? You know what I'm saying? But really have evil intentions, and evil intentions in his heart. This is why what Cat brought out here, right, in 37, chapter 27 of Sirach, right? It says, where was that? I think it was this one we read? Right. Yeah. A wise man shall be filled with blessing, and all they that see him shall count him happy. You have to realize that if he's receiving the blessing, he's on a path that not slitted. But if you got a brother who's going through a lot of hardships, or you got a brother that's kind of just trying to out in the world or out in the streets trying to get it how he lives and ready to sway and backstab a brother, you got to watch out for that, because his countenance could also change, trying to get something out of you just to provide for himself, right? This is why 22 says, another is wise to himself, and the fruits of understanding are commendable in his mouth. So that apple that's rotten and full of evil and sin that he's eating is telling you, yeah, this is the way that you do. But when you bite that apple, you're like, hold on, man, you spitting it out. Like this ain't good. It might be good to you, but it's not good for me, and it's not good for the people, right? Come on. Anything else, Hot?
That was it.
Yeah, we finna get up out of here though, man. All praises to the Most High. Call Allah Yahbashim Yahushai, right? Yabaraka Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And water to y'all brothers and sisters, perhaps sisters. If y'all sisters are here, shalom to y'all too. Peace and blessing to the children for y'all tuning in, man. All praises.
Stay in that book, man. Keep walking this walk. I know it's hard, it's difficult at times, right? But it's worth it, right? It says, what he said, one of the precepts I brought up, it was like, preparing yourself for the end, or preparing for the end, or looking forward to the end. Try not to focus so much on the past or the present to where you're forgetting that we have a blessing coming at the end of this thing. Right, make sure to always remember that as well. Both past, present, and future is very important.
Con, all praises. But with that, say shalom, y'all. Make sure y'all like and share this video. All praises.